Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss P block elements, group 14 elements. So, whenever we are discussing the group of elements, we have to follow the regular order. That is, first we will discuss about the general properties, then we will go for the chemical properties, then important elements and important related that compounds, their preparation, properties and uses. Now today we are going to start with the P block elements, group 14. Group 14 elements. Group 14 elements is very important elements we are having here for our general life. First we will start with the general properties. General properties, first one. So what are the elements present in that group of elements and their electronic configuration? This group containing first electronic configuration. This group containing the elements is carbon, silicon, germanium, tin and lead. Carbon atomic number 6, silicon 14, germanium 32, tin 50 and lead is 82. Now the electronic configuration is helium after 2s2 2p2, neon after 3s2 3p2, argon 3d10 4s2 4p2, krypton 4d10 5s2 5p2, xenon 4f14 5d10 6s2 and 6p2. Now as per our electronic configuration, the general electronic configuration of this group of elements is ns2 np2. ns2 np2 is the general electronic configuration of these elements. Next, second one is occurrence, where this group of elements are available. Most abundant element in this group is silicon. Next most abundant element in this group is carbon. So silicon, we can see that is the second most element in the earth crust. It's the second most element in our earth crust, and carbon is the 17th most abundant element in the earth crust. Silicon is available in the form of silicates. Silicon is available in the form of silicates. Silicon is available in the form of silicates. Silicate general formula SiO4 2-, and carbon will be available directly like a carbon, 17th most abundant element in the earth crust. The carbon is available like coal, graphite, diamond. These are the availability forms of the carbon. This is in native state. Carbon is available in the combined state. This is a native state. Native state means directly available carbon like a carbon. In combined state, Carbon is available in the combined state in the form of carbonates, bicarbonates, and mostly carbon is available in the combined form in the nature is like a carbon dioxide gas, that is 0.03% in air. Carbon is available in the form of carbonates, bicarbonates, and carbon dioxide. It is available in 0.03% in air. Naturally occurring carbon having two isotopes. Carbon isotopes. Naturally occurring carbon having two isotopes. There are totally three isotopes we are having, that is carbon 12, carbon 13, and carbon 14. Out of these four, these two are naturally occurring carbon isotopes. Naturally occurring. And carbon 14 isotope, that is radioactive isotope. Radioactive isotope. Whenever we are saying the element is radioactive isotope, its half-life we have to discuss. Its half-life. Half-life of the carbon 14 isotope is 5770 years. Radioactive isotope of carbon 14 is 5770 years. This one we are using for the carbon dating techniques. Radioactive isotope we are using in the carbon dating techniques. Tin is available. Tin can be available in the form of the ore name is cassiterite. That is tin oxide, SnO2. Tin is available like SnO also. The stable form of another form of oxide of tin is SnO, but this SnO is stable at very high temperature only. It is stable. High temperature only. It is stable at high temperature. Lead is available in the form of the ore name is galena. Lead sulfide, PbS, lead sulfide. The lead is available in the form of sulfide. And germanium is the least available here. So germanium is the least available element in this group of elements. This is about the occurrence. Next, covalent radius. Next property is covalent radius. Generally from top to bottom, in groups, from top to bottom, in groups, from top to bottom, as atomic number increases, atomic radius is also increases. Then covalent radius also, covalent radius also increases. So as usual, no problem. So carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, and lead. Ionic radius. Ionic radius. Ionic radius means this group of elements can be available in the form of two ions, that is +4 ion and +2 ion form. This group of elements are available in the form of +4 and +2 ion. For +4, the ionic radius order is silicon, germanium, tin, and lead. For the +2, we have to discuss about only germanium, tin, lead. Meaning of this one, +2, carbon and silicon cannot exist in the form of +2 form. And here by +4, what we have to understand means carbon generally cannot show the +4. Whenever it can react with the most electronegative element with +4, and that is fluorine and oxygen, it can show the +4 oxidation state. Carbon +4 is more stable. Lead Anyway, ionic radius or covalent radius talk about increase only, but carbon and silicon cannot show in the +2 oxidation states. Later we will discuss about the oxidation state, why it can exist in +4, why it cannot be exist in the +2 oxidation state. We will discuss. Next one is ionization energy. Ionization energy. So atomic radius, whenever we are discussing the atomic radius, we know atomic radius is inversely proportional to the ionization energy. Atomic radius is inversely proportional to the ionization energy. Carbon, so as usual from top to bottom, as atomic number increases, I values will be decreases. Highest ionization energy is carbon, silicon, germanium, tin and lead. As usual order, there is no change in this one. Electronegativity. Electronegativity. In general, electronegativity, what we are seeing in groups. In groups, from top to bottom, electronegativity values will be decreases. Here, what happens means, general order is carbon is most electronegative element. That's no issue. Silicon, germanium, tin, lead. Silicon, germanium and tin almost having the equal electronegativity, and tin is having a smaller higher value than the remaining three elements. Why these can show the similar electronegativity means because of the poor shielding effect, otherwise because of these elements containing the vacant or completely filled d orbitals, that's why the electronegativity of these elements will be equal. Next, physical state. Physical state. All elements are solids: carbon, silicon, germanium, tin and lead. All are solids. All are solids. Metallic nature. Next property is metallic nature. Metallic nature. Carbon and silicon, these two we can consider as non-metals. Non-metals. Germanium we can consider as a metalloid. Metalloid. Tin and lead, so we know these two are metals. Each and every group, any group, the starting two elements will be non-metals. Middle of that group of elements we can consider as metalloids, and end of the elements we can consider as a metals. Density. Density. Carbon can be most stable form of the carbon is diamond and graphite. Thermally more stable form of the carbon is diamond and graphite. If the carbon is you consider as a diamond, generally top to bottom, as atomic number increases, atomic size increases, density also increases. Atomic number increases, density also generally increases. So general order is carbon, silicon, germanium, tin and lead. Tin and lead. But if carbon is diamond, if carbon is graphite, if the carbon is graphite, the order is correct. If the carbon is diamond, the order will be, there is a small change in between carbon and silicon will be exchange. If it is diamond is more denser than the silicon. Now the order will be a small changes in between the carbon and silicon. Melting point and boiling points as usual from top to bottom. Melting points and boiling points. Melting point and boiling point. The question sometimes they will ask like this: carbon diamond and carbon graphite, which is more thermally more stable form of the carbon means graphite is the thermally more stable form. See, graphite is thermally more stable. Thermally more stable. More stable form for the carbon. Melting and boiling points from top to bottom, as atomic number increases, the boiling points and melting points will be decreases. Why? Because the bond strength will be increases. Carbon can form the strong bonds when compared with the lead, so that's why melting and boiling points will be for the carbon is very high. So we have to compare between the group 13 elements and group 14 elements. Group 13 elements and group 14 elements, which is having the highest melting and boiling points, means group 14 elements. Why? Because group 14 elements can form the 4 covalent bonds. Valence electrons are 4, so it is able to form the 4 covalent bonds. But group 13 elements can form only 3 covalent bonds. 4 bonds it can form means 8 electrons in the valence shell. So 3 bonds it can form means 6 electrons in the valence shell. So these are electron deficient, and this is electron sufficient. Noble gas configuration we are feeling. So when compared with group 14 elements, 13 elements, group 14 elements can form the stronger covalent bonds. So that's why melting and boiling points of the group 14 elements is very, very high. This is the general discussion about these group 14 elements. Now we are going for the chemical properties. We have to discuss another important general property, that is oxidation state. Each and every group in general properties means we have to start with the electron configuration, atomic radius, ionic radius, ionization energy, electronegativity, melting and boiling points, density, oxidation states. These are all general discussion for the each and every elements. The common oxidation state for this group of elements, the common oxidation state is +4 and +2. The most important thing we have to memorize, that is stability of +4 oxidation state is decreases from carbon to lead, decreases from carbon to lead. Generally in our mind what we are feeling, when compared with carbon, lead can easily form the +4 oxidation state. Why? Because when compared with carbon and lead is having the more atomic size. For example, carbon small size, I am taking is the lead large size. Which element can easily show +4 oxidation state? This one can show +4 oxidation state, or this one? Why? Because lead having the large atomic size, so easily to lose electron. So the element which can easily to lose electron, easily to form the +4 oxidation state, we are following. So we can feel +4 can easily exist by the lead. That is correct. But stability we are discussing, carbon is more stable than lead in +4 oxidation state law. Which is more stable oxidation state? Stable oxidation state in the +4 for the group 14 elements means carbon is more stable than lead. The reason is due to inert pair effect. So already we know what is the inert pair effect. Inert pair effect means the outermost electrons. So generally NH2 is the NH2 is the general electron configuration for the group 14 elements. Especially for the lead, even though it is having the valency 4 electrons, the electrons present in the NS orbital, that NH2 electrons, these NH electrons are not involved or not interested for formation of chemical bond. The valency shell ns electrons are not interested to the participation of the chemical bond, that is called as inert pair effect. So due to inert pair effect, lead is more stable in +2 oxidation state. So stability of +2 oxidation state increases from carbon to lead. They will ask one question, Pb +4 is more stable or Pb +2 is more stable, means obviously lead +2 is more stable. The reason is due to inert pair effect. Due to inert pair effect. Due to inert pair effect, lead is +2 is more stable than +4 oxidation state. Carbon can show -4 oxidation state also. This group of elements can show carbon can show -4 oxidation state in alkanes. For example, I am taking methane. In methane, what is the oxidation state of carbon means? That is -4. Now, next we are going to discuss about the chemical properties. This is the general discussion. Now we are going for the chemical properties. First, chemical properties means, so what is the maximum covalency for this group of elements? First, whenever we are going to the discussion about the chemical properties, we have to see first what is the maximum covalency for this group of elements. Maximum covalency is 4. Why? Because it is having the valence electrons are 4, so maximum covalency is 4. So catenation property, one property is there, catenation property, catenation capacity. In this group of elements, 2 elements can show the catenation capacity, that is carbon and silicon. In this, out of these 2, carbon having more catenation capacity than silicon. That's why we are having the many millions and millions of compounds related to carbon, but silicon we are having less. Why? Because catenation capacity. What is the meaning of catenation capacity? Means combining capacity. Carbon can combine with many elements. We are having the many compounds. That is the organic chemistry. Organic chemistry, we are having carbon and hydrogen related compounds. We are having millions and millions of compounds. So catenation capacity is very, very high for the carbon when compared with silicon. Carbon do not show the covalency is more than 4. Carbon covalency is maximum 4, but silicon can show covalency is up to 6. Maximum covalency is 6. Reason, in carbon absence of d orbitals. D orbitals are absent in the valence shell, but silicon having the valence shell d orbitals, there is a chance to excited state configuration, then it can get the 6 chemical bonds it is having the capacity to form. For example, silicon hexafluoride Si(F6)(2-). Germanium, other than silicon, all elements, silicon, germanium, tin also can show the 6 covalency. Germanium Cl6(2-), tin hydroxide 2-. So like this, the covalency of the carbon is always 4, it never change, but the rest of the elements can show the covalency is 6 also. In this, all these compounds, the hybridization of these compounds is sp3d2 hybridization. sp3d2 means octahedral is the shape. Now we will see in the chemical properties one by one. That chemical properties we have to discuss first, reaction with oxygen, reaction with hydrogen, reaction with halogen, and reaction with water, anomalous behavior like this. First property, chemical properties of first one is reaction towards oxygen. Reaction towards oxygen. This group of elements I am taken as E, on reaction with oxygen to form two type of oxides. One is EO and EO2 type of oxides. This group of elements can form two type of oxides. For suppose I am taking the carbon. Carbon can form two oxides, that is carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. Carbon monoxide we have to consider as this is a neutral oxide. What is it? Give an example for the neutral oxide. Neutral oxide means carbon monoxide. Carbon dioxide is acidic. Acidic oxide. Acidic oxide. So how can you explain whether it is acidic or neutral or basic? Means this is on further reaction with water to produce acid. For example, carbon dioxide reaction with water to give the carbonic acid H2CO3. So we can say the nature of the carbon dioxide is acidic in nature. Acidic nature. Silicon also can form the two type of oxides. Silicon also can form the two type of oxides, silicon monoxide and silicon dioxide. Out of these two, more stable form and generally the stable at room temperature. Stable at normal temperature or room temperature. So SiO2 is more stable at normal temperature. SiO is stable at high temperature. We have to stabilize the compound, we have to store the compound of silicon oxide, that is SiO is, we have to maintain the temperature is very high. So some of the oxides we can write which is acidic oxides, example for the acidic oxides, basic oxides and amphoteric oxides. Generally non-metallic oxides are, generally in periodic properties we know non-metallic oxides. Non-metallic oxides are acidic. Metallic oxides are basic. That we know. But here we will see further some neutral oxides, some acidic oxides, some basic oxides. Carbon dioxide, silicon dioxide, germanium dioxide, all these are acidic. Whereas tin oxide, lead oxide, these two are basic. Metallic oxides are basic. Non-metallic oxides are acidic. For suppose one compound itself it can show more than one oxide. For example, tin it can show two type of oxides, SNO and PbO. These two are amphoteric oxides. Not only this group, any group we can say higher oxidation state is acidic. Higher oxidation states are acidic and covalent also. Any element can show the higher oxidation state, generally that is acidic, and the compound is nature is covalent nature. Vice versa, lower oxidation states can show the basic, otherwise amphoteric nature, which is ionic in nature. Reactivity, this is reactivity towards oxygen. Next, reactivity towards water. Second one is reactivity, reaction with water. Reaction with water. Generally what we are feeling, any element reaction with water to give the corresponding hydroxide or oxide and liberate hydrogen gas. Metal oxides or metal hydroxides. Metal oxides or hydroxides and liberate some gases. This is general nature of any group of elements. So especially this group of elements, carbon, silicon and germanium do not react with water. Tin only decomposes reaction with steam, not water. Tin reaction with water, that is in the form of steam. It can form the corresponding tin stable oxide and liberate hydrogen gas. Lead, especially lead on reaction with water, to form a oxide film on the surface of the metal. Metals on reaction with water to form the layer, protective oxide layer. Protective oxide film or layer will be formed on the surface of the metal, so it is not affected by the water. Only tin only affected by the steam, remaining rest of the elements are not affected by the water. The lead is not affected because of a protective oxide film is formed on the surface of the lead metal, so it is not react with water. Remaining elements other than tin, remaining elements also not react with water. Third one, reaction with hydrogen. Any element reaction with hydrogen to give the corresponding hydrides. And moreover, all these hydrides are covalent in nature. All the hydrides are generally covalent in nature. For example, carbon reaction with hydrogen to form carbon hydride, that is CH4. Silicon to form SiH4. Germanium to form GeH4. Tin it can form SnH4 and lead it can form PbH4. So simply we can say this group of elements reaction with hydrogen to form EH4 type of compounds. CH4 we know the well known name, that is called as methane. SiH4 name is called as silane. And germanium hydride name is called as germane. And tin hydride its name is called as stannane. Lead hydride its name is called as plumbane. Methane is the most familiar we know, and silicon hydride also sometimes we are listening the name silane. But germanium, tin and lead we are not listening the names are germane, stannane and plumbane. Especially we have to discuss some properties about here. First one, methane to PbH4, thermal stability will be decreases. Thermal stability decreases. So they will ask which of the following hydride is more stable, means thermal stability from top to bottom hydrides will be decreases. Reason is the element hydrogen bond length increases. Bond increases means bond energy decreases. Bond energy decreases means easy to break the bond. Means least stable. When compared with carbon, silicon, germanium, tin and lead, carbon small size, lead is large size. Hydrogen is same, but I am observing the CH bond and lead hydrogen bond, which is easily breakable, means this one. The compound which is easily breakable, that is highly unstable. So carbon hydrogen bond is more stable, CH bond is more stable than PbH4 because of the bond length will be increases, bond energy will be decreases. Boiling points and melting points. Especially we have to discuss boiling points and melting points of these hydrates. Generally top to bottom, generally what happens top to bottom, from methane to PbH4 as atomic number increases, so atomic size increases, boiling points and melting points also increases. Boiling points and melting points of the hydrates will be increases. Reason is due to the increase in the molecular mass, due to increase in molecular weight or molecular mass. CH4 we know methane gas, but lead hydrate it is a solid. So gas means it is having less than melting and boiling points. Lead hydrate, so it is having high melting and boiling points. Next one is important property, reducing capacity. Reducing capacity. So which of the following hydrate can be act as the best reducing agent? Reducing agent means it can give the hydrogen. Where the hydrogen, metal hydrogen bond, element hydrogen bond is easily breakable is lead and hydrogen. MH bond, based on the MH bond, if the MH bond is very weak, so it is ready to give the hydrogen, that is the best reducing agent. So we can say from methane to lead hydrate, reducing capacity will be increases. Reducing capacity will be increases. Then hydrolysis for this one. In this hydrates on further hydrolysis, what happen? Already I told you all the elements previously hydrolysis reactions how we were seeing, same like that we can undergo hydrolysis. So previously how we were saying only silicon only reaction with water, same like that silicon hydrate only can be undergo for the hydrolysis. Methane cannot undergo for hydrolysis. Methane cannot undergo for hydrolysis. Silicon only can undergo hydrolysis, that over in presence of small amount of alkali. Small amount of the base, in presence of the small amount of the base only, it can undergo hydrolysis and liberate hydrogen gas. And remaining one is sodium silicate Na2SiO3. Na2SiO3. This is the discussion about the hydrogen. So metal hydrogen to form the corresponding hydrates. In that hydrates we have to discuss about thermal stability, bond length, bond energy, reducing capacity, hydrolysis, boiling and melting points. Now third one is we are discussing reaction with oxygen, reaction with water and reaction with hydrogen. Now fourth one is reaction with halogens. Reaction with halogens. Generally this group of elements on reaction with halogens to form the corresponding halides, that is two types of halides it can form, EX2 and EX4 type of halides, but carbon cannot form the EX2 type of halides. Rest of the elements can form the EX2 type of halides. Carbon cannot form, but silicon, germanium, tin and lead, these can form the corresponding halides. For example, I am taking the divalent halide, that is silicon halide SiCl2, germanium halide GeCl2, tin halide SnCl2 and lead halide PbCl2. So stability order we know, top to bottom it will be increases. Why? Lead is more stable. Reason already we previously are saying, that is inert pair effect. Stability order. Stability order I told you, if the plus 2 capacity it will be increases, so stability order is like this. But plus 4 EX4 type of halides, all compounds can form the EX4 type of halides, that is CCl4, SiCl4, germanium GeCl4, tin SnCl4 and lead PbCl4. Already you know plus 4 capacity stability after top to bottom will be decreases. So which is more stable form is carbon tetrachloride is the most stable. SiCl4, GeCl4, SnCl4 and PbCl4. So already we know we are seeing the oxidation state, plus 4 oxidation state top to bottom will be decreases, plus 2 oxidation state top to bottom will be increases. For suppose if I am asking only carbon and taking different halogens, carbon tetrachloride, carbon tetrachloride, carbon tetrabromide and carbon tetraiodide CI4, which is more stable means which is the more strongest bond, that is more stable. So we know halogens more reactive, fluorine is highly reactive, CF4 is thermally more stable. So anyway in EX4 type of compounds, all EX type of compounds hybridization is sp3 only, shape is tetrahedron only. All are tetrahedral only. Here one important point we have to discuss, that is these halides, EX4 type of halides, on hydrolysis what happened? EX4 type of halides on hydrolysis what happened? Especially for the CCl4, carbon tetrachloride do not hydrolyze. Because the central atom carbon that can be it cannot having the lone pair of electrons. For suppose you can see silicon tetrachloride I am taking, silicon tetrachloride. In silicon there is a vacant orbital, d orbitals. Now water having there is a lone pair of electrons. The lone pair of electrons to give this one, and slowly it will be decomposes, 4 moles you can take. Then finally we can get the compound is Cl will be replaced by 4 OH groups, and we can remove the 4 HCl. But carbon do not have any vacant d orbitals, so it is not able to take the electrons from the oxygen, so it cannot be easily hydrolyzed because of the absence of d orbitals in the carbon. It is not able to gain the electrons from the oxygen, so there is no bond formation or no shifting, no replacement of the reaction. So the name of this compound is silicic acid. So this is the discussion about the chemical properties. Now we are going to start with the anomalous behavior of carbon. Why carbon can show anomalous behavior? Not only carbon, in any group of elements, first element can show the anomalous behavior than rest of the elements. Reason due to the reason is, first one is small size. In any group, the first element is having the smallest size when compared with the rest of the elements. That is one of the reason to show the anomalous behavior. And second one is high ionization energy values. So automatically size is small means we know the high ionization energy values. And third one is high electronegativity values. Any group, the first element can show the high electronegativity values. And fourth one is most important one, that is absence of d orbitals. Previously we are discussing the many properties why carbon cannot be hydrolyzed. Previously CCl4, why it cannot be hydrolyzed because of absence of d orbitals. So many anomalous behaviors, we can say the reason is absence of d orbitals is the main reason, and small size and high ionization energy. These three reasons we are explaining for the most familiar cases why it can show the anomalous behavior when compared with the rest of the elements. Now see, so what are those anomalous behaviors? Anomalous behaviors, so first one, maximum covalency of carbon. of carbon is only we are having 4, but remaining element maximum covalency of remaining elements like silicon, germanium, tin and lead. These can show the maximum covalency is 6 also. And second one is carbon can form 5 bonds with 5 bonds with that. Moreover, that 5 bond is p pi bond. Carbon can form the p pi bond with same element, same or different elements, That is, for example, carbon multiple bonds we are seeing C double bond C, C triple bond C, C double bond O, C double bond N, triple bond cyanide, C triple bond O, carbon monoxide, like this. So carbon can form the multiple bonds, that is 5 bonds with the same element or different element. That 5 bond is, this 5 bond is must be p pi bond. But rest of the elements like silicon, germanium, tin and lead, rest of the elements silicon, germanium, lead and tin, these can form the 5 bonds with different elements only, but not same elements. Remaining elements, silicon can form 5 bonds with oxygen, and lead oxide, we are seeing lead form the multiple bond with oxygen, but here this 5 bond is p pi d pi bonds. Carbon can form p pi bonds, but rest of the elements can form the p pi d pi multiple bonds. And third important anomalous behavior of the carbon is, in organic chemistry we are seeing carbon having tendency to link with other elements through the covalent bond. Carbon having tendency to form chain or a ring type of compounds, in organic chemistry. Organic chemistry we are seeing carbon can form the carbon having tendency to form covalent bond. Carbon can tendency to form covalent bond with covalent bonds in chain form also, and it can form the ring type of also, but remaining elements cannot form the ring type of compounds, only chain, except silicon. In silicates it can form the ring type of structures, but rest of the elements cannot show this type of properties. Now see the similarities between the carbon and silicon. Carbon and silicon, now only I am saying carbon, silicon also can form the same type of cyclic compounds also and chain compounds also. So we have to compare, there is a necessity to compare between the carbon and silicon. Now our next topic is similarities between carbon and silicon. Carbon ki silicon ki, what are the similarities we are having? First, electronic configuration is same. Electronic configuration is NH2 NP2. Carbon also having NH2 NP2 configuration, and silicon also having the electronic configuration is same. Second one, both can show the tetravalency. carbon also can form tetravalency CCl4. Silicon also can form the tetravalency CCl4. Both can show allotropes. Both can show allotropes. Both can show catenation capacity. Both can show catenation property. Remaining elements cannot show the catenation property. Carbon and silicon only can show the catenation property. Out of those two, carbon having more catenation capacity than silicon. Carbon can form oxide, that is carbon dioxide, stable oxide. Silicon also can form the one of the most stable oxide, SiO2. But these two are acidic, same. Higher oxidation states are acidic. These two are acidic. Carbon and silicon can form the same type of acids. It can form same type of acids. Carbon related one acid we are having, we know that is carbonic acid. Carbon related acid, that is carbonic acid, H2CO3. Name of this is carbonic acid. Carbon having same acid, and silicon also having the acid, that is H2SiO3. Name of this one is metasilicic acid. Same can show same type of acid, H2CO3, H2SiO3. For example, same type of acids, oxalic acid I am taking. So everybody will know the formula oxalic acid in the organic chemistry. Oxalic acid. Oxalic acid, and it is also can form same type of, instead of carbon I am placing the silicon 2 times. Name of this compound is silico-oxalic acid. So both are can show the same type of acids. Both are can form same type of halides. CCl4 carbon tetrachloride, SaCl4 silicon tetrachloride, CHCl3 chloroform. Here having the CHCl3 chloroform and SiCl3 silicochloroform. SiHCl3, CHCl3 we know chloroform, and its name is called as silicochloroform. So both are can show the same type of halides also. So these are the some similarities between the carbon and silicon. Now the remaining topics, these are the general discussion like physical general properties and chemical properties we are discussing. The next class we are going to start with the allotropes of carbon. What are the different allotropes of carbon? Their allotropes and their compounds we will discuss in the next class.